No, absolutely not.
All right, well, we can go ahead and get started. So if you're with us today, we appreciate you making the time. So this is Financial Foundations. This is something that is near and dear to everyone in Benchmark's heart, and we just want to thank you for making this time today. What we're doing is every single Thursday, we're going to be meeting at noon. I'm going to be this month traveling around to different advisors' offices here in our office, and then potentially out in Memphis. And then we'll just tackle a different topic each day. This month is going to be on the topic of debt. We've gotten a lot of user-submitted questions that we want to be sure to tackle for y'all. And we also have some experts here as well. And so, Nancy, just to kind of kick things off, tell us, why should we not have debt? What's so bad about debt? Is it bad? What's the stigma around it?
I think that's a great question. And you've heard some debt is good, some debt is bad. We're not big on any debt at all. But there's some debt that really eats away at you. Times you can't make payments, or the payments are too big, or you didn't remember that you charged this, or you got that student loan, etc. So I think for me, it was when I began to pay off my debt, it was because I realized how much debt I had. And then I realized how much headspace all that debt was taking up and the stress that it was causing. And Hall's going to tell you in just a little bit how to pay the debt off, but it was just so helpful for me to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to demonstrate self-control. I want to have that term financial peace. I really want to go after this. And so I do think in many respects debt is bad. You aren't, debt is. And whatever you got yourself into, you can get yourself out of. How's that?
Pretty good.
Okay,
yeah.
Good stuff.
I'll accept it as my boss. Yeah. So a lot of people want to know and are wondering, okay, I have debt and I know it's bad. Now, how do I start working to get out of it? And so right now, my money's working for someone else. It's working for the creditor. We want you to get to the point where your money's working for you, whether that's saving intentionally for retirement, for that vacation that you've always wanted to go on, whatever it may be. The first step is getting out of that debt. And so in order to do that, we've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people. The best way that we found for that to happen is by using the Debt Snowball. The Debt Snowball is a specific, and Nancy, I'll kind of let you get into a little bit more of the details,
Sure.
but overall the goal here is to gather all the information you have about your debts. You want to know the principal payment, you want to know the interest rate, and you want to know what your currently minimum rate that you have to pay on it every month is. Nancy, what do you do with all that info?
Yeah, that's great. And the first step that Hall just described is really recognizing where you are. And that is, how much debt do you have? And then to drill down on some of that information. We are amazed with the number of people that we meet with, and they say, I have a credit card balance of $2,500, and we say, what's the interest rate? And they don't know. You really need to know. Some of these yucky people are charging you 30%. So think about that. You charged $1,000 2 years ago. Well, you've been paying $300 a year just in interest, if that's the case. So first of all, we want you to know what you have working against you, and that is all the details on all the debt that Hall just described. And once you know that, then we want you to you can set up an Excel spreadsheet. I, of course, being older, used pen and paper, but you list your debts. Who do you owe money to? How much do you owe? What's the interest rate? And what's the minimum payment? And here's the big important thing, one thing that we really enjoy and want to share with people, and that is put them in order from least to most. Why is that? The math doesn't make sense. The psychology does make sense. And the psychology of, I have one debt that's $100 and I have a mortgage that's $300,000. Well, you're going to pay off that $100 just like that, and all of a sudden you went from 13 debts to 12 debts. And let me tell you, it's a huge shot in the arm. So I'll go into drill down a little bit on that one.
Yeah, so as you're paying off each and every debt, you want to initially, you've got them lined up, you know what you're paying, the minimum on each payment is, and then you determine, all right, how much of a surplus of a month do I have? Right. Maybe it's $1, maybe it's $1,000, whatever it may be intentional about that surplus, and don't attack all of them, just attack the very top debt, the smallest debt is your priority, and attack it and get it out of your life as soon as possible. We found psychologically that is the most effective by far routine to go through to pay off that debt. And then once you pay that off, let's just say it was a $70 payment that you were paying down and you were putting an extra 30 on it. Now, once you got it out of your life, you go to that next debt. Don't just continue that $30 extra payment. Now you also take that $70 that you were paying and you snowball it in to that next debt. We've helped people do this for years and years, and we've seen millions and millions of dollars be paid off through it, and the freedom and the peace that people get from it is just, it's infectious. And it's why we're doing this today, because we just want to help educate as many people as we can about it, and just at no cost. Our passion here is education. You can get to any of these videos for free, and you can again find them on our website, benchmarkwealth.net. I think that's all we've got for you today. We'll be back again at noon next Thursday. Again, if you got any questions or want to know a little more, just reach out to us. You can find us on our website or comment in the section below. Yeah. Thanks, guys.